Lord Krishna, on the battlefield, he could have ended the war like this. He said, I will not even be a part of the battle. I will not fight. Imagine. Okay, with such immense powers. Okay. He is saying that no. Why? Because otherwise that would not have transformed Arjun. That would have not transformed the society the way it should have happened. You being unshaken, unmoved in any situation of life, that is being truly Sva-stha. The purpose of yoga has been to liberate yourself, to be free from your suffering. It's not about building muscles. It's not about how much flexible can you get.
Hello, namaskar everyone. Welcome to the Meeting Point podcast. Today is part 2 of our podcast with Kamal Maliramani. We have already done one podcast with him, and if you haven't watched it already, you should go and watch the first part that we did with Kamal. Today's topic is about yoga and how it has transformed over the last few decades. Okay, why is it become equivalent to going to a gym or doing Pilates also, whereas yoga is much more. So this is what we are discussing in this podcast, and quite a few insights you will get from Kamal and in the history of yoga.
So Kamal, many people prefer going to a gym. Many people prefer to go to Pilates for their exercise, so-called exercise. Some people prefer going to yoga, do yoga, not go to yoga, practice yoga also. How would we differentiate all three forms? Because people still look at yoga as an exercise form. So how would we break this down for them?
Okay. So there's nothing wrong in going to a gym. There's nothing wrong in going to a Pilates class. Okay. But when you come to yoga, a Yogashala, okay, then your purpose is totally different. It's not about how you physically look, which is being, by the way, promoted in today's time and age.
Yeah.
Okay. But that has never been the purpose of yoga ever at all. The purpose of yoga has been to liberate yourself, to be free from your suffering. It's not about building muscles. It's not about how much flexible can you get. Right? Those are very limited aspects related to the Hatha Yoga practice. Even there, you don't do the practice to build more flexibility or strength. Okay. It is to work on your energy body, which is more subtler. Yeah. So we have a physical body and we have an energy body. So we have a physical body and we have an energy body which governs the physical body. Right? So to get healthy, right, if you are able to govern the energy body, right, it will have more benefits than just addressing the physical body.
Okay.
However, having said that, like I said, the purpose of yoga has never been limited to the physical aspect. It goes much, much more deeper.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go a little back in history, we used to have Vyayam Shala. Okay. So if you wanted to do exercise, which means you wanted to develop strength in personality or the way you look, okay, then you go to Vyayam Shala. But then there were also Yogashala. So the purpose of Yogashala was very, very different. You can't compare them to either a gym or a Pilates or Vyayam Shala, isn't it? Right? The comparison today, which is happening between a gym and a yoga practice, is the way it has been projected in today's time.
Okay.
Limited to the asana practice. Right?
Okay.
The breath work or the pranayam that we talk about, okay, is missing in either gym or Pilates. To a certain extent in Pilates, but definitely not in gym. Okay. Dhyan, concentration, meditation, dharana. Okay. So these components are what make yoga very exclusive and separate. In fact, some of the sections of yoga don't even have the asana practice. There is directly the pranayam practice and the practices of meditation.
You mean some traditions or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So there is absolutely no asana practice at all,
Okay.
isn't it? So where is the question? Okay. Now recently there's been a lot of questions about strength training. Strength training is important, and then yoga doesn't give you the strength training, and for that you have to go to the gym, right? Nothing wrong with that. If you
Right.
want a little more strength, you want to go to the gym, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It has its own benefits also.
It has its own set of benefits. Okay, no denying that.
Yeah.
right? But you cannot say that, oh, yoga is not giving you this. Because what the inner strength that you get from yoga practice cannot be got from any of these other practices.
Right.
When I'm talking about inner strength, I think what we need to understand is, what do we mean by real strength? Okay. So strength also varies. I mean, a person who's running 42 kilometers, okay, has a different level of endurance, a different kind of strength. His body looks very different from a person who is lifting weights, from a person who is swimming, okay, from a person who's into boxing, from a person who's playing cricket, right? So
Right.
each of the bodies and each of the demands of that particular activity are very, very different,
Correct.
isn't it? So in itself, they are very, very separate,
Yes.
isn't it? Right. Now, most importantly, you go to any of these activities, whether you go for a dance, whether you go for fitness or Pilates, okay. The term there is, you want to be fit. Fitness. Okay. Now, what is the term for that when you talk about in Hindi? What would be the term for fitness?
Sva-stha.
Okay. Swasth रहना.
Sवस्थ रहना.
Okay. Fit रहना.
Correct.
Okay. That's how it's understood.
तंदुरुस्त
हाँ,
रहना.
तंदुरुस्त रहना, स्वस्थ रहना, okay, fit रहना, healthy रहना, okay, those are things, right? Now, the term swasth has been misunderstood. Okay, it is not limited to the physical fitness.
Okay.
So being swasth, essentially the root of the word swasth comes from two things. So you can actually break it up into swa and stha.
Okay. Swa is self.
Swa is self.
Huh.
Okay, and stha, okay, again it has its root in the Sanskrit language. So it is something which cannot be moved. Okay, so every Sanskrit has a root word.
Okay.
So this root word stha basically means which cannot be moved.
Okay.
Okay, so words like sthan, okay, so a place,
Correct.
okay, it will not move.
Correct.
Okay, it will remain there only. So therefore the root is coming from there, and it is called sthan.
Okay.
Okay, sthamb, a pillar. Okay, so you know in construction, the pillar will not move. Your walls can break, other things can happen, but the pillar, sthamb, okay,
Very
one
nice.
which does not move,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now, if you now apply this into that word swasth, okay. So swayam, okay, which does not move. Now, what does that really mean? That you're not moving. Okay, but movement is life,
Yeah.
isn't it? So why are we talking about this non-movement?
Correct.
Now that comes to you being unshaken, unmoved in any situation of life. That is being truly swasth. Okay, so you could have several situations in life. Okay, and we know that we experience that in life, that we get moved by them, isn't it? We can't handle them,
Right.
isn't it?
Right.
But truly, a person is swasth when he is unshaken in any situation of life, whether it's an emotional challenge, whether it is a mental challenge, whether it's a physical challenge, any kind of challenge thrown by the world, okay, your own world, okay, you are steady, you are unshaken. Right? That is being truly swasth. So it requires inner strength, not shaken in terms of not physically, but internally you're not
internally,
shaken, unmoved.
And I guess if internally you're so stable, that will reflect on your physical being also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, because your physical, so again, if you look at yoga, it talks about the layers, isn't it? So you have the Annamaya Kosha, the Pranayama Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are these kosha? You're talking about inner layers, isn't it? So these inner layers actually govern the outer layers. So naturally, if you're strong from here, so even let's say there's a fight happening, okay, there's a wrestling match happening, okay. So the guy who's strong here, assuming both of them are physically equally strong, okay, because they have weight categories. So you fall in the same weight, you fall in similar heights and all these things. So more or less on the physical level, you are similar. Okay, are you strong here? Isn't it? That makes you more stronger.
Right.
Isn't it? Right. So likewise in a cricket match, right? So let's say India-Pakistan match is happening. Okay. Now which team is not shaken up by the pressure being built?
Correct.
Okay. Will emerge the winner. Okay. You have to be like steadfast.
Yep.
In fact, Captain Cool, okay, Dhoni, okay, kind of falls.
Yeah.
When people talk about him,
Yeah.
they say that yes, he's cool in any situation.
Right.
Okay, which means he's unmoved, unshaken, right? And that's what makes him what he is today.
Correct.
And that's what has made his whole career path.
Correct.
Isn't it? Being steady in any situation. Okay.
So this is a quality one will develop when you're practicing yoga.
Yes. In fact, my journey of yoga okay, began in the same pattern, where I had just touched 30, so newly married, a lot of new responsibilities, and I had also started my venture at that time, my advertising venture.
Okay.
Okay, and it was in partnership with other people, and then of course there were some misunderstandings, and all situations had become a little complex. So there was a lot of things going on, a lot of things to be taken care of at the same time. So the stress started building up,
Right.
and obviously there was emotional up and down. Okay, there was mental up and down happening at that time. Okay, and then I was looking for a solution. Then finally, somewhere deep down, I thought, "Nee, yoga probably is the solution, and meditation is probably the solution."
Okay.
Okay. And then I found a class near my place. I walked into the class and I said, "Look, I have a lot of stress, and I want to learn meditation." Okay. I was very, very fortunate to have found my teacher there. Okay. He said, "You will not be able to sit and meditate. You're not ready for it. Okay. First, you have to do your asana practice. You join the class now." Okay. And I just surrendered. I said, "Okay, fine." He said, "Give me 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll be ready for sitting and practicing meditation." Okay. I just believed in him. I started my practice. And yes, in 2 years, that asana practice transformed me inside out. Huge transformation. My confidence levels improved, my insecurities came down, my fears came down. I started feeling more stronger.
Wow.
Okay. And where did this lead to? So now, you know that most of the time, having an apartment complex to be maintained is a very big challenge. Okay. So many personalities, so many people, and if you have to collect money from them, oh my goodness.
Society maintenance is a different ball game.
Now, what happened is, for about 1 year and 3 months, I worked on my complex and started changing small things, okay, which didn't require any collection of monies, okay. And people saw that, every day or every week there is some change happening, something is getting more beautiful, something has started looking more nice, something is working more efficiently, okay. And then automatically an environment started building up where they said, "Oh wow, things can change, good things can happen." Okay, and then they started trusting me. Okay, that this guy truly, it's not that he's worked for 1 month. It's been more than a year, and he's constantly working, contributing to the society, and we are experiencing the benefits. Okay, and at that moment, then I introduced the whole idea of painting up the whole building, and then plumbing works and blah blah blah, and we had to collect so much money at that time, right? And people came forward and contributed.
Arriba.
Okay, we had 100% collection. Okay, now this seva bhav, okay, is something that again came from yoga. Okay, this automatically came from my teacher. My teacher never gave me a lecture as to that you should have seva bhav, you should do this because you're on the path of yoga. It was within him, it transferred onto me. Okay, I'll explain that to you.
Yes.
He used to stay 25 kilometers away from my place. And I'm talking about 20 years back. Okay.
Okay.
He was on a two-wheeler. He would drive down 25 kilometers every day in the morning, 5:30, be on the terrace of a building to teach a set of about 7 to 10 students. Never saw him ever complaining. Never saw any sadness on his face. Always jovial. Okay. Always in good spirits. Always a bounce in his feet. Okay, and even if it is raining heavily, he would still be there, drive down 25 kilometers and be there for the class on time. No matter what,
Wow.
he used to be there with a smile. Okay, and the beautiful part is, at the end of about 5 years of practicing under him, okay, one day he said, look, I think you have developed the patience and the qualities of becoming a teacher. You should start taking this knowledge forward.
Okay.
Okay. So he encouraged me and I said, go and do a teacher training course. You might not learn much over there, but you need the certification because people will ask you, go and get the certification, but whatever you had to learn is already been imparted to you.
Wow.
Okay. So I finished my course. The day I got my certificate, he said, this is your class. My job is done here. Okay. Imagine somebody has been running this class for 5 years
And
he just gives it away saying that my job is done here, you are ready, you take over and I'm done. And there's no commercial transaction involved. So you have so many students, my percentage is this, your percentage is that, nothing. He just said, my job is done here, let me go and serve more people. And he just gave away. And that's how my journey began of a teacher. Okay. So again, coming back to, 2 years of these time, and then of course, so this whole transformation that my complex experience. And then I saw, how did I develop this? Okay, nobody taught me.
correct.
But it just happened out of the pure asana and yoga practice. Okay, I did not develop muscles. Okay, but something transformed within me.
Correct.
My inner layers got transformed.
Correct.
Okay, and so that's the strength. Then further, there was something wrong about the school where my son was studying. Okay, so breakfast and lunch was compulsory that the children need to have it in the school only.
Okay.
Okay, and I used to drop my kid at the school, and I used to see that the breakfast was already there outside the classroom even before I was going to drop him.
Okay.
Okay, and which means, so after that they have their time and they have their prayer, and after that the breakfast is served. Okay, so then I thought, is it really healthy for him? Okay, and out of the spread that he is seeing during the lunchtime, he would only automatically go to the favorite things and he will eat only those things. Okay, so I said, no, this is not right for him. Okay, so I said, I want to send my own tiffin. Why should I not send? Right? Why should I not send my own pack? Yeah. But the school said, no, you can't.
Okay.
Okay, this is our rule. You have to follow this. Okay. I said, a school is for education, not for providing food, isn't it? So I said, this is not right. I put up a court case, okay, against the very school where my child is studying.
Okay.
All right, and won that case.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wow.
One in the sense, even before the judgment or other things could happen, the school changed their policy. Okay, made it open saying that whoever wants to bring their tiffin, bring their tiffin. Okay. So point is now, how do you get that strength? Okay, of fighting against a school where your child is studying? Okay, parents really go weak. It's not easy, because your most precious
Yeah.
being is there,
Yeah.
isn't it, in their hands, isn't it? Yeah. So from there on, I also took up the cause of fighting against commercialization of education,
Okay.
and then several dharnas so I was not alone after that. Several people have, of course, joined me, but then steadfast working on it. Okay, moved the government into releasing a government order. Okay, high court cases, dharnas, interaction with the education department. Another 2 years interaction with the media, press, lot of things. Waking up the parents. Where did all these things come from? This is despite me running my advertising firm.
Okay.
Okay, so where does this strength come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
The yoga practice.
The yoga practice.
Okay, and when I'm talking about yoga, it's just not about the physical asana practice, but other practices of pranayam, dharana, dhyan. Okay, so those,
Yeah.
and of course, the study of the scriptures that comes along on the path of yoga. Okay, so that is how different the area
This
of
whole
yoga is.
practice of yoga is
Huh.
actually. Yeah.
Okay, so comparing it to an exercise form, okay, is something that you're not justifying the whole area of yoga, which has been blessed upon us by rishis, maharishis, okay, who have brought the truth to us. Okay. So that's how it is. So people need to understand that yoga is more transformative. It will make you Sva-stha.
Right. And I think at the most foundation level, they should develop the attitude of complete surrender,
Yes.
isn't it? I mean, like
Anything in life that you have to learn,
Yeah. Yeah.
you need first thing is surrender,
Surrender.
isn't it? So
Yeah.
if you don't believe in the master, if you don't believe in the path, it will not manifest the way it should ever.
Correct. If you keep questioning it,
Then your intellectual mind is throwing up so many questions and doubts.
Yeah.
So as far as your doubts continue to exist, you will never flourish in
correct.
any area.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
first thing is belief.
Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, many of the scientists, when radio waves were discovered, okay, did you ever see radio waves?
Yeah.
Did the scientists ever see radio waves? Okay. They had not seen it. Okay. But a belief that I can take the sound from here to there. There must be something. Okay. Accidentally discovered or whatever. Okay. But there was something beyond, isn't it? But pure faith and determination
Correct.
of working on something.
Correct.
So this is something which is unseen. So there are a lot of concepts about yoga which you might not believe in the beginning. Okay. But then as they start manifesting,
Yeah.
you will certainly
Start seeing the results of
seeing the results. You'll have more belief, and
Yeah.
you will definitely put in more effort in that direction.
Correct. Yeah. All those, actually, the 8 limbs also come into play here, right?
Absolutely.
And again, because I'm also in this field, and when you tell a student to just let go, it doesn't come in so easily for them.
Because you don't know what is letting go.
Letting go.
Okay, because so far
Huh.
you have always been holding on to
Holding.
things.
Physically, mentally, everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. The teddy bear that was gifted some 15 years ago when you were a kid still has
Still there.
room in your cupboard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're holding on to it. You
Holding
can't let
on to
go.
it. Correct.
Isn't it? So,
Correct.
so even if you ask the student to let go, they don't understand the concept. Okay, I still have my school books with me. I can't let go. My school bag with me. Okay, what is it doing there?
Yeah. What is
Isn't
it doing there?
So letting go, is a concept which we need to train ourselves for. It doesn't come naturally to us.
Correct. Correct. So also this then takes me to this question that comes to my mind is about breathing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So when we look at the Ashtanga Yoga by Patanjali, yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayam, right? So what are your thoughts on practicing pranayam after asanas? Because earlier you did mention there are certain schools or traditions which make you practice breathing beforehand without doing any physical movement. How do you decide that, or who should just start away with pranayam? Because it will depend on the type of person, right? The body, the person's stability to sit and breathe, isn't it?
Okay.
Vis-a-vis the asanas where,
Right. So what happens is, let's say pratyahar.
yes,
Okay. So when in the Ashtanga Yoga, where does pratyahar come?
pratyahar dharana, after pranayam.
After pranayam.
Yeah.
Okay. There are other philosophies
Huh.
where pratyahar comes before you sit for pranayam.
Okay.
Okay.
So just to expound a bit on pratyahar for our audiences, pratyahar, you want to?
Okay. So pratyahar is essentially sense control.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens is our senses are driving us outside all the time, isn't it? So again, very interesting thing I'll share with you. Something about the word, nayan. Okay, eyes.
Okay.
Okay, it's called nayan. Isn't it?
Yes.
So again, the root word there is naya. Okay. Naya in Sanskrit essentially means lead.
Lead.
Yeah. Okay.
To lead.
Yeah, to lead.
Okay.
Okay. So neta. Okay, leader. Okay, comes from naya.
Okay.
Okay. So likewise, eyes are something which lead the mind. Wherever your eyes go, your mind will go there. Okay, that's why it's called Nayan. Okay, how interesting, isn't it? So eyes are something which will lead your mind, right? So in Pratyahar, okay, by giving up looking outside, okay, so even if you're looking at physical, okay, now if in case I'm closing my eyes, okay, I'm closing that sense, okay, now I will be able to internalize. Okay, so likewise the other senses, okay, the other senses will also not, because the senses are meant to interact with the external world. So how do I even travel inside? Okay, so for that I need control over these senses. Okay, so that happens, or that stage is called pratyahar.
Pratyahar.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so therefore the external stimuli does not disturb you. Okay.
Right.
So one of the questions, one of the students asked was, why is this in this particular system pratyahar before pranayam? Okay, in another system.
Okay, there's another system which has
Okay,
it. Yeah, you
right,
mentioned it.
okay.
Yeah.
So now the answer is very simple. Now if you have to sit in pranayam, okay, in one place, okay, and assuming there are mosquitoes there, will your pranayam happen? It won't happen.
It won't happen.
Okay, so therefore there the importance of pratyahar first. Okay, do pratyahar. Then no matter what comes and bites you or whatever happens, it will not disturb you in your stage of pranayam.
Wow.
Okay.
Those must be serious practitioners.
Absolutely. Now, so there are several stories about Swami Vivekananda.
Okay.
That his concentration was so high that yes, he used to meditate in the morning and then mosquitoes used to come and bite and things used to happen, but he would never get distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the amount of concentration, that's the amount of withdrawal that is happening. Okay, just like in the process of yoga nidra. Okay, so from the external world, then you go in, then further in and further in,
Yeah.
and then the external world doesn't exist at all.
Doesn't exist.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is each of the systems, okay, depending on who that has been compiled by, okay, or whoever has experienced a particular path,
Okay.
okay, they have developed their own systems. Okay, so in some places you directly start off with pranayam.
All right.
Okay, so there are some systems you start with, okay, dealing with how do you deal with yourself and with the world. Okay, yam and niyam. Okay, so essentially niyam means नियमित रूप से everyday करना. Okay, so there is yam and niyam, and then comes asana, and then comes pranayam, pratyahar. Right, so you will see that these stages either come forward or back, but essentially these stages are there in most of the traditions.
Okay.
Okay, if you go a little more deeper, then earlier what used to happen is depending on your personality. So one of the path is the Ashtanga path, also known as the Raj Yoga. Okay, the yoga of meditation.
Meditation, yeah.
But then you have Bhakti Yoga, you have Karma Yoga, okay, you have Jnana Yoga, Okay, so now if in case I have a personality where I'm very emotional, I take a bhakti mark. Okay, so in bhakti mark, the whole process is very different altogether. Okay, in karma yoga, the path is very different. It's all about serving the community outside, and through that becoming one, isn't it? Now, what is this whole idea of becoming one in yoga? Okay, so the idea there is that there is the Atman or the Brahman, okay, and there is this individual Jivatma, okay, which is what you recognize yourself as for the moment. Okay, the ego, the I, okay, is what you actually need to merge with the bigger I. Your individual I merges with the bigger I. Okay, so that is the journey of yoga. Okay, so which means essentially this ego that you're carrying, that this is what I am, you dissolve that.
Correct.
Okay,
There's no I.
there is no I. Okay, so in fact there's a beautiful saying also there. जहाँ हरि है, जहाँ मैं हूँ वहाँ हरि नहीं, जहाँ हरि है वहाँ मैं नहीं. Okay, so very beautifully it encompasses the essence of the journey of yoga. Okay, and you will see this in many of the established dancers, painters, music composers. Okay, and they will acknowledge that we are not composing music. It just happens.
Just happening.
Okay, the beautiful movie The Man Who Saw Infinity. Okay, where he talks about, I don't solve mathematical solutions, Ramanujan.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
it just comes to me.
It just comes to me.
Okay, and where is it coming from? Isn't it? Now there is total surrender. There is no I am doing it. Okay, and so when you see that kind of a dance, it will be another level of expression. Isn't it?
True.
In fact, in one of the interviews of Taj is
Zakir Hussain.
Zakir Hussain. Yeah. So he mentioned, so somebody was asking him, how do you come prepared on the stage? How do you decide what you have to perform and all these things? So he says, I don't come and perform. I come and I'm doing my riyaz here. That's all I do.
Oh, beautiful.
So he says, I'm not doing anything. It's just happening.
It's just happening.
Okay, and it's just that people feel.
Yeah,
okay, and they call me Ustad. He says, I don't feel I'm an Ustad. Okay, so that's how, the real the journey is all
Journey
about.
of yoga is all about. Yeah, because this is something that you don't experience in strength training, nor in Pilates, which is in vogue nowadays, or any other form.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yes, nor in a Vyayamshala.
Correct.
Because it's about physical fitness.
Correct.
Okay, yes, it might give you a little emotional stability, a little mental stability. Yes, automatically it will come with some physical exercise. It will make you a little more confident, but it will not give you all these things.
It will not make you Sva-stha.
Yes.
It will not make you Sva-stha. So you mentioned you started your practice, 20 years back?
Correct.
Yeah, now it's been a long time.
2 decades.
Today, many videos are there on social media which shows, A, B, C, D techniques, and then you will achieve one asana.
Correct.
Or so. These are quick fixes, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a change that I'm seeing or I've noticed in what is being learned today in terms of the yoga asana practice and the way it was taught to us at that time, from our teacher. Okay, I'm not saying all the teachers were like that, or nor am I saying that all the teachers now are what I'm going to explain, isn't it? So, but I'm talking about most of the scenario, okay, of that time and most of the scenario in today's time, right? So, my teacher would introduce a particular asana, saying that, look, you are ready for this asana now, right? And that time, of course, we didn't have access to internet or any such thing, so information was not readily available also. So our only source of information was our teacher or a few books that we could buy.
Right.
Isn't it?
Right.
So the teacher would say, you're ready for this asana, let's learn this asana, and he would demonstrate. Let's say he's demonstrated Bakasana, okay, the crane pose, or the crow pose. And then he would say, go ahead and do it. Okay, and now you've seen something, okay, and am I ready for it? Whatever doubts will come, Okay, but teacher says you have to try it, so you go ahead and attempt it. Okay, and you fail. Okay, and he would just smile and would say, just continue. Okay. No guidance in terms of what needs to be done, what needs to be ready, what has to happen, nothing. Okay. Now, we are left to figure out. Okay. Nothing was given. Right? You had to learn. All right. So what would happen? The class would happen, and then at the end of the class, before Shavasana or whatever happened, okay, the teacher will tell you, okay, Bakasan. Okay. So then you start practicing. Okay. Your legs will fall off, your knees will slip. Okay. You will crash on your nose. Okay.
I'm
All those things
sure.
will happen. Okay. But what do? Just practice.
Keep practicing.
Okay, that's all, right? And it could take 3 months, it could take 1 year before we could get an asana, isn't it? Shirshasana. He will demonstrate. This is Shirshasana. Do it. Oh my God, how do you do it? Isn't it? You roll, you fall, all sort of things will happen, isn't it? And you can go on for 6 months, which means
Yeah.
you're constantly, you see the story of the ant which keeps climbing and keeps climbing and keeps falling and keeps climbing. That becomes our story, isn't it? That used to be our story, and that's how we used to learn
Yeah.
all the asana,
Yeah.
all the intermediate and advanced asana.
Yeah.
Okay, they used to be introduced one by one, right? No techniques were given to us, and there's a very strong reason for it.
Okay.
Okay. Because in today's time, if I have to learn something, I just have to go to Instagram. And there are 100 teachers who will give me different techniques which I can apply and achieve the asana in the next 1 week's time or 15 days time. Isn't it? Yes, I'll have to put in some effort. But what is happening is, it is taking away the transformation that this practice should bring to you.
The transformation in the process of
Yes.
learning how to actually get into the asana.
Yes, because there, in the way I was taught, I needed to figure it out. This has to be done, figure it out. Okay, and then you have to work towards it. And then you will fall. You will miserably fail. And in the process, you will not even realize how you are developing patience within yourself. Okay, how you're teaching yourself that yes, failure is a part of things that you're doing. Okay,
True.
how you're developing a mindset to work on something till you don't get it. Okay, all these qualities automatically become a part of you,
Part of you.
because the journey coming up further in pranayam, in dhyan dharana, okay, is going to be not guided. You have to figure it out yourself there. So that learning started from the asana practice itself. So when you got into pranayam, okay, so then you know now how to figure out things, how to move about. Okay, so now that you're told a pranayam, it's easy for you, because all the grounding is very, very strong. The foundation is very strong. So everything gets built very easily over there.
Easily.
Okay. More importantly, the communication between the teacher and the student used to become so strong, okay, that he just has to not even say anything and you will understand. And so therefore, when you get into the pranayam stage, okay, in a physical asana stage, the teacher can come and physically correct you. Okay, your arm should be like this, your head should be like this, your hip should be like that, and all such things, isn't it? What kind of guidance will come in pranayam? You are on your own there. Okay, so if you are not prepared earlier like this, then there's a lot of struggle here. Even more struggle in the stages of dharana dhyan.
Impossible to reach anyways because
Eyes
you'll
are
be
closed.
struggling.
What is happening inside?
Yeah. How will the teacher know?
Isn't it? So by that time, such a beautiful connection between the teacher and student is formed that the teacher just has to indicate and he will understand. If you see some of the episodes from which were about stories from the history,
Okay.
Okay. So they will, you must have seen that the guru gives a mantra.
Hmm.
Okay. And now the student has to go and work on that mantra.
Hmm.
The guru doesn't say what to do with the mantra, how to do, isn't it? He'll just give the mantra. This is the mantra for you. Go. And he'll go and do the japa. He has to figure out himself what it will manifest into. Yeah. That's how it was. The system was built that way.
And today it is so different. It has
Today's
become
time, that key aspect of foundation is being taken away by the teachers. Okay, because today I don't want to do seva out of yoga. Today I want to earn money out of it.
Yeah.
I want to earn a living out of it. Isn't it? I mean, very unfortunate that, yoga teacher training courses are sold on that platform.
Right.
US is so and so $1 billion market. India is a so and so billion market. Okay, and you can make your money out of it. Teacher training of yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, now if that is the mindset with which you are luring a student into the field of yoga, in front of my eyes, somebody who's never practiced yoga, okay,
come up with
45
a
years old
certificate.
gentleman, okay, he's enrolled into yoga teacher training course. Within a month's time, he's got his certification. He's a teacher. Okay, is he in any way a teacher?
Yeah.
He's not. Okay, but that certification gives him a false impression that yes, I'm qualified enough to teach, and he starts teaching. Okay, and then what happens is, now you want to acquire the market. So you want to impress people with your practice, with your instructions, with your knowledge. What is the special power of all the gods which had human forms? That they will never show their power.
Okay, I didn't get it.
The special power of the human forms of Bhagwan that we have, okay, their most special power was they would never display their power.
Okay.
Isn't that is what made them actually Bhagwan? Okay, today I might learn a bit of singing, and then I'll start singing here, singing there. Oh,
And
listen
you
to my
become a
singing,
singer.
isn't it? Okay, Bhagwan is never like that. Okay, Lord Krishna, on the battlefield, he could have ended the war like this. He said, I will not even be a part of the battle. I will not fight. Imagine. Okay, with such immense powers. Okay, he is saying that no. Why? Because otherwise that would not have transformed Arjun. That would have not transformed the society the way it should have happened.
True.
If he had just destroyed everyone, okay, and okay, battle over, everything over, you become the king and other things. What? Do you think the outcome would have been similar? Do you think these 5 brothers would have become wiser? No. All that wisdom was taken away.
Yeah.
So the same thing is happening with most of the teaching that is happening today. Okay, there's so many techniques are given away that you achieve the asana very quickly. Okay, but in the process, that whole learning or that characteristic that should develop within you, okay, that surrender that should develop within you, okay, and that patience that when I am ready, I will get it.
Yeah, that is
missing
in these short courses that people are doing.
And so what is happening is there's an urge to achieve more and more in asana practice, and your whole journey gets stuck over there. You never move ahead in the path of yoga. You never even pick up the book, the Bible of yoga, which is the Yoga Darshan, the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Isn't it? Because you're not even exposed to that side. You're stuck in your life with only techniques. Madam, what is the technique for doing this? Sir, what is the technique for doing this? Isn't that a question that you hear in today's time?
True.
Isn't it?
True.
What's the technique for doing pranayam?
Yeah.
There is no technique.
Yeah.
You have to find your path.
Yeah.
So that capability is being taken away.
Yeah. So things have changed drastically from when you started and how it is today.
Absolutely.
And I guess that that Guru Shishya Parampara or that personal knowledge gain that would happen from a teacher in person is missing today. Deeply missing. Because that is why
So
many
number one-
yoga teachers.
So number one, it was not easy to start teaching earlier. Okay, the yoga path. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you would have very few
number
teachers.
one, we were never called gurus. Okay, nor my teacher ever said that he was a guru.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was a Yogacharya. Okay, so maximum a teacher. Okay, so gurus were one who were self-realized souls. Only those people were addressed as guru.
True.
The rest of them, we are not gurus.
True. True.
Okay, we are not yogis. Yogi is someone who has achieved self-realization.
Yeah.
Okay, or is enlightened. Okay, we are in
Absolutely.
darkness.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not seeing the light.
हम लोग तो शायद we are still scratching the surface of.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you need to have that thirst. Okay, for instance, Gautam Buddha. Okay, he had the thirst. He left his kingdom. He left his wife, kid, in search of truth. What is the truth? Why are people suffering? Okay, so that is the question which drove him. Okay, to explore things. Now he also explored several paths before. He got his enlightenment. Okay, and many of the paths failed. It didn't work out for him, isn't it? So therefore, there is no single path. You have to work out your own path.
Right.
And then that foundation of being able to work out is starting from your asana practice, at least on the Raja Yoga path.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is being taken away in today's time.
True. So
Therefore, the lack of progress.
Yeah, many students
The
are still
progress
stuck
of
there.
wisdom that should shine within you with the practice of yoga.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So on that note, this was very enriching, the conversation.
Thank you. I'm glad
Yeah.
I could contribute something.
Yeah, and this message has to go out loud and clear to many yoga teachers, many practitioners, or institutes who conduct courses or so, to go into the depths of the subject rather than just giving them peekaboo
In fact,
that subject.
one of the beautiful movies that I can relate with this is The Karate Kid. Okay. I mean, of course, it was remade with Jackie Chan being the teacher over there and the student. Okay.
Okay.
And so the student says, I want to learn karate. And he says, okay, get your jacket off. Put your jacket
And put
on.
it on. Huh.
Put it off. Put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on the hanger, bring it back. Put it on the hanger, bring it. No, he's just doing that. And then he's coming and painting, he's cleaning the car. He says, where is my practice going? You're not even teaching me karate. And then suddenly he realizes, oh, you don't have to teach. You already learnt it. That's the beauty.
That's the beauty of it.
This need not be taught. This has to be learned. You have to give time for the learning to set in, the student.
Correct.
Don't take that away. In your trying to prove that you are a great teacher, you don't have to prove to anyone.
True.
Once you're on the path of yoga, you don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Anyone. True.
Isn't
You have to be true to yourself.
You just have to be true to yourself. Share whatever knowledge you have. But share whatever that you have with you.
Yeah.
Because it is not yours.
Correct.
It belongs to sages. And some of the texts don't even have an author. They haven't even put their name on it. Isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so their greatness.
True.
You're just walking that path.
True.
Yes, when you find your path, yes, then probably you can claim to a certain extent. Even that time, you will not claim it.
Claim it.
It's so beautiful.
True.
Yeah. So yes, so learning has to be encouraged.
Yeah.
That is what is important in any yogashala
In Yogacharya.
and any of the practices related to yoga.
And I hope the practitioners who are on this path, who are watching this podcast, really gain some insights on how they could go about their practice.
Yes, even if a few lives are transformed, yes,
Yeah.
our job is done.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, Kamal,
Thank
for
you.
spending so much time and taking time out. And we're doing this podcast in Hyderabad, by the way. So, and I'm glad you could take time out to do this. So, thank you so much for watching, and please do like and subscribe and leave comments on this after this podcast, and let us know your thoughts on what are the subjects you would like us to cover. Thank you so much.